Welcome back to... Ah, damn it. I always say welcome back.
No, I should be saying welcome back, I think.
No, I think it's better to just say welcome.
Just go... Okay, ready?
Welcome to the pod, Matt. You're watching or listening to the MaateCast.
Right.
Come on, mate.
Okay. Oh! Not bad. That's going to be so loud on the mic.
Guys, welcome to the...
Oh, no. How we duff it every time?
It's either 8th or 9th.
I think it's 9th. I think
it is 9th.
The last one was 9th. 8th. So now this is the 9th.
Yeah. 9th episode of the MaateCast. We're coming up on 10 episodes here.
That's actually incredible to think about.
Now, guys, we always have special guests. We always have special guests on the MaateCast.
There's always something, yeah.
And I'm sitting in an empty chair.
Yet again.
There's
another bloody empty chair.
So I'm thinking, frick, do we have another special guest? Yes, we do. Spoiler alert. Do you have anything you want to say before we get into the...
I mean... I kind of just want to get straight into who we have on. Okay. Because I think this is going to be a bloody good podcast. And I think what we have today, what we're talking about today, people are going to find very interesting. They're going to get something out of it. So without further ado, Chris, who the bloody hell do we have on?
Guys, I've got a little, could I call this a monologue?
You probably could, actually, yeah.
I've got a thing.
You've got to act it out.
Yeah, well, acting, it's whatever. I'm just showing off my acting skills to the guest, actually. No, it's not acting. Okay, on the podcast, on the MaateCast today, we have an aspiring singer, songwriter, and jack of all trades. A man that is charismatic, confident, and gorgeous all at the same time. He's sung on some big stages, and we can only assume he'll be singing on some even bigger stages in the near future, with his new single, You'll Never Change, coming out on the 28th of July. Please welcome Luke Harrison!
Oh my
Good, sir.
Hey,
thank you
for having me, guys.
Welcome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I have to say, your acting skills are really good, Chris.
Thank you. I'm pretty proud I didn't mess up. Usually when I read things out, I'm really bad at, in public or at school, you get asked to read the book.
But hey,
I'm there struggling to read
a sentence. After you've done 9 podcasts, it's good.
Yeah,
It just comes naturally.
Literally.
No, it's good, and thank you for such a nice introduction. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Right.
It's very deserving. So, Luke,
thank you. Yes.
Before we get into anything,
yeah, man.
how have you been?
I've been good.
Yeah?
I've been well. It's been, a crazy time finishing school and a big change, when you finish school and you come out into the big world and, so many things that are changing now and, your head just kind of has to adjust to everything. So that's been really cool. Mm-hmm. But, I've been overseas a little bit in the past year. Spent some time.
We've seen.
Spent some time over in LA and in America, which has been pretty exciting and, great to explore a new place and a new country as well. And especially in my industry, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've been truly blessed. So, it's good to be back in Brisbane again for a little bit, and then I'm just excited to keep the ball rolling and keep going back.
Yeah, I will say you've not been messing around since getting out of school. You've gotten out of school and you've been going into it.
Yeah.
Really quickly before, this is getting into it. For the people that may not know you, and even us, because I feel like we don't know your past very well.
Yeah.
Where, could you give us a rundown of how you started, or where you started in your career, I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know, did you start singing or have you acted? I don't know, I only know little things.
I recall meeting you a while back with Tim, and he mentioned that you were quite the actor and quite the singer, and then I guess what we're kind of asking is where did that all where the aspiration for that come from, and then has it all been going ever since, really?
A lot of people don't know my full story. I used to live in the Gold Coast where I had a lot of things going and was performing all through school. So I guess moving from school into the world was kind of a big change, but also was kind of smooth as well because I'd been doing performances all my life. So, I'd say music's always been a part of who I am. I'm the only musical person in my family, actually, which other people don't think about. They always ask me, where did you get it from?
Yeah.
Who's the lucky guy in the family who did music that you took after?
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of all started with me, which is really cool.
Nice.
But I first started This is always a tough one. Like, when did you first really start doing it? I mean, I started playing piano when I was 4 years old. Right. My mum would take me down to the music school, and we'd like play like hot cross buns and like the kangaroo, which is like the 2 black notes, and like C sharp and D sharp.
Yeah,
it's
we
like,
know those. We know those.
Yeah. We'd sit there and we just kind of just go along. And I still have memories of that, surprisingly, which is really crazy.
Yeah.
I probably started first when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
Sang at my grandfather's funeral. And I kind of noticed as I was singing, like, it was a very emotional room, a very emotional space. Yeah. And I kind of just saw how my music was having an impact on the people in the room. And so I thought, this is something that I want to keep going and keep doing. I was just, I was able to see how my music, I guess, could touch lives in that space.
Yeah.
And so I guess seeing that as an 8-year-old was pretty interesting. I was very young, and I hadn't done, a whole lot of, singing, performing before then. And so that's kind of how it all started. And ever since then, I just was classically trained. So I did a lot of competitions and things like that. I was fortunate enough to get Friedrich in The Sound of Music in 2016.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the start of the real industry aspects for me. I was 11 at the time.
Right.
And so being able to, I guess, tour kind of with that was a real big, insight into what it's really like and to the world that is out there that I hadn't really explored before.
Yeah.
And so having that experience, I fell in love with it instantly. And so funnily, I thought about this today, actually. Ever since that year, which was 2016, I've been in a production every single year until today.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So whether that be musical theatre or a show or whatnot, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
so,
that's very impressive.
So, a lot of
Something
musical
proud of.
theatre.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. It was it's having like the double life of school and trying to be a normal kid, but also having that amazing experience and being truly fortunate to have all those shows and get those roles is something I'm very, very grateful for. And especially in Australia, in your home country, it's good to have those opportunities there for you. And so that's kind of where it started. I did a lot of the classical voice. Probably the biggest performance that I've had to this date was performing a solo at the Commonwealth Games closing ceremony. So I was able to do that. That was in 2014.
Gosh.
Yeah. Right.
So that was pretty cool.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it's something that I will
really
never
young
forget.
then as well.
I was 14.
Wow.
So I remember getting the call and coming on to the team and at the closing ceremony, it was pretty insane. And the song I sang is, now that I look back on it, is like a really tough kind of more classical piece. And when I look at it today, it's like I look and I think, wow, I don't know how I did that because your voice changes so much. And so that experience as a young kid, I am so grateful for. Like it was amazing, and I'm always going to remember it. I got to sit with I got to meet Guy Sebastian then.
Saw that
the first time, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And so those experiences were just, they're always going through and you're always learning from them. And a lot of people don't know this, but before I released Free, which was my first debut single in Australia, I actually had an album recorded when I was 12.
Wow.
In the US. So I did
in
one.
In the US?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I have so many. That's it.
It's probably the first time where I really was in that studio environment at 12 years old. And that was like a kid opening presents on Christmas Day. Like seeing all those things, having that experience was just, insane. And being able to, I guess, write your first song, and write something that means something to you. I would journal basically, I think every day for like an hour or so and try to figure out like what I wanted to say as a 12-year-old. I was like, what's the song I should write about? So I thought I'd write about what it feels like on stage and how that feeling, takes a hold of you and really engulfs your life and gives you that ability to impact others. And, that's always been, I guess, my motto. I've always said I want to touch lives with my music, and even if it's one life, that's all that matters. And I guess that's what's continued to keep me going, like every day and in every show that I perform, being able to connect with the people you're singing to, acting whatever it is, and seeing the emotion on their faces, like seeing someone smile if you're acting a funny character. There was like so many moments. I was in Strictly Ballroom and I played JJ Silvers. So if you've ever seen the movie, he's like the host.
Right.
And
Yeah. Okay.
And so he's a pretty like kind of out there, kind of camp kind of guy. And it was pretty funny, like just cracking all the jokes in the script that I was doing, and just, you know, seeing the audience react to that. It really puts a smile on your face.
Yeah.
And so, you know, as much as I love, you know, being able to perform, it's the fact that I am able to, you know, have that emotion from the audience that really is the best
for
thing.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
we can relate in that aspect of like why we're doing videos and why we're doing content.
Right,
Is
yeah.
like for the audience, you know,
Yeah.
for that reaction.
Yeah.
Except we don't get a live reaction.
No.
But like, yeah, that same kind of like I feel
Yeah.
like we can relate in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to see them and see how, I guess, judge off what they like, but yeah.
It's a skill for sure.
It's a skill
I mean,
for sure.
a whole nother thing performing live. Freak that.
Can't even imagine. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you
it's
did a
good
bit
fun.
of drama. I was gonna say, you mentioned your parents. Yeah, your parents, or like your family not being very.
Yeah, not
musical.
really. Not
Did they? But like they kind of like saw that you were gifted, like
Yeah, I
and then they
think-
supported you throughout.
Yeah, I mean, my family have been probably the most supportive people on the planet, so I want to, you know, shout out to them first
Shout
and
to
foremost.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here today without them, and you know, you have to give up a lot sometimes for this life and leading that industry. But I think at that moment when I sung for the first time when I was 8, I think we all kind of sensed something, and we felt that this could be something that we could continue to do. And so I think ever since then, it's just been that ongoing journey of, you know, getting performances, performing around Australia, all the shows, everything. And then having a family by your side is probably the most important thing. And so I've been very fortunate to have both my mum, dad, and my sister always supporting me by my side. And that is something else that I guess keeps you going.
Yeah.
You need
For
those
sure.
support
Yeah.
networks because it can be a hard industry. So
Can only imagine.
yeah.
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 for
Has
sure.
your like, I guess, obviously your confidence would have grown, but like, can you relate the first time you're going up on stage to now when you go up on stage? Is there like
Yeah.
a big difference between those, or do you still get like really nervous beforehand?
This is always a question that
You don't look nervous.
like-
You look confident, so.
well, if you don't look nervous, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone gets nervous.
Yeah.
But it's not so much a nervous feeling that, oh, I'm going to like stuff up. It's more so because I want the audience to have a good time. And I know, and I want that to be the focus and the center of the night. And so it's more of an excitement, I'd say, than nervousness, because whenever I'm on stage, you know, that's my home. That's where I love to be. And so being there is kind of like that place where I'm most happy. And so I would say it's more of an excitement feeling. And the hour leading up to performance is always, you know, you always get that jitters. You're like, oh, how's the night going to go? But you don't have to worry about it. Like, I always just, you know, I always just try to have faith and make sure the audience, you know, gets out the best they can and you know, deliver that performance. You know.
Yeah. I used to always tell myself whenever I was like doing a speech or something of like, I think my mum must have told me, but like you get the same feelings when you're nervous. You get the same like things as when you're excited. Like same, I don't know what the word is, like, but you feel the same way as if you're excited and if you're nervous.
I agree. I
You
think
can
so.
just say, or it helped for me being like, oh, I'm not nervous, I'm just excited. Like I'm excited to do something. But
For sure.
yeah. Frick.
With the upcoming release of your latest project,
Yes.
talk to us a bit more about that, and what for you do you reckon's been your favourite project? What's gotten you the most excited, and what have you felt like you've really delved into the most?
I love that. That's great. I feel like I love everything I do.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you didn't love everything you were doing, it's not going
Literally,
to transform. But the thing that I've probably done that I've loved the most, that's a difficult question. I think the next song I've got coming out is really fun, and I really loved writing that and being in the studio for that, and then also doing the music video for that as well. So that whole process as a whole, I think, is probably going to be one of my favorites. I mean, every time I do something new, it becomes the thing that you're most invested in.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, you kind of give it your all and you're in that space until the next thing comes along.
Yeah.
Obviously, no, you're not going to forget about it, but
Yeah.
you know, so I think right now that's where my head's been at for a while, and I've really loved that process. I was super fortunate to be able to film the video over in LA, in Hollywood when we were there, which was an amazing experience, and that was just super fun. The crazy thing was, like, because of the driving there, right? So going up the road to this house was like so small. You could only fit like one car on a double lane road. So we'd be driving up this thing for like 20 minutes, and there'd be a car that wants to come down, and we just kind of like have this like staring contest with them sitting there. Like, we've kind of made it up, bro. You're coming down. I don't know. Who should we give way to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we kind of have to play that game where it's like, you back up. No, you back up. And I was like, oh, it was crazy. So that was really fun. And getting up there, like the view you'll see in the video is like, I've never seen anything like it. You know, so being there, you know, first and foremost is crazy. And I wouldn't be there if it weren't, you know, for everything that's happened to me here in Australia and to everyone who supported me here. So, you know, it's just been a crazy project, and I think this is what I'm most excited about right now. For sure.
Absolutely.
Does the music video drop with the song?
Yeah, it'll drop with the song next Friday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Keen.
I'm keen for everyone to see it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So cool.
Do you... Oh, sorry. No.
Let's fast forward, I don't know how many years into the future. Where do you see yourself going? What's the vision that just is constantly driving you to put out these singles and to just keep pursuing what you're doing?
Yeah. You seem like you want to, you know, like, have an impact on people, especially like I see that as one of your goals, it seems.
Yeah.
Is that like long term you want to have, I mean, I assume a big impact. Where do you like see yourself in a few years or way down the track?
I've always wanted my career to be something that people remember for good reasons, and I want them to remember that, you know, I was able to impact them for the better and have that truly, you know, good connection with people who are listening to my music or acting, whatever it is. And so I think the more people that I'm able to reach, you know, the more people are going to be able to, you know, have that impact. But I'm always happy with one. I've always seen myself being on the world stage and touring and having that experience and, you know, a longevity to that as well.
Yeah.
Throughout my life. I think I've done so much up until now that, you know, I love it so much. I want to keep going. Yeah. And, you know, I've had good feedback from people who have said, you know, that, you know, your stuff's really been able to change like parts of me, and, you know, thank you so much for sharing this. And it's those moments when people walk up to you after a show or, you know, after a single's released or the DMs or something, and they say, hey, like, you know, thank you for this. This really changed me. And so it's hearing those messages that really keeps me going.
Sure. That's the goal.
That's right, right? And partnered with, you know, my love for it, of course.
Yeah.
You know, the last 10 years has been, you know, I go back in my phone sometimes and like on my hard drive with all like the content, all the photos. I'm just like so blessed and so fortunate to be in this position to help people. Yeah. And so that has been super eye-opening, and, you know, gives you that sense of wanting to keep going forward. Yeah. And so that's
for sure.
Yeah. Well, you're looking, I mean, I just must say, encouragement just to keep going. You're encouraging us all the time, and it's so nice.
Of course, bro. You're
doing
like, so good.
It helps so much.
Yeah. It's the same thing of like, just people texting you. Like, you get those DMs or you get that feedback, people saying that they're enjoying it, and it just like makes you like, this is right. This it feels good.
100%. Yeah.
So
I just love when people are positively impacted, and if I'm able to be a vessel for that in a world where, you know, there's so much going on, then that'll make me happy for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
You got that good heart on you. I feel it.
As I grow, I think my music's going to change as well.
Yeah.
So as I get older, you know, I'll be able to experiment with different things. And right now I have You'll Never Change, and that's an awesome, you know, pop song that I am so excited for everyone to hear.
Yeah. Get on it.
And so, I'm just, you know, excited to see where the future takes me. You know, I take everything day by day. People are often doing things for themselves, and I feel like we need to make an emphasis on, you know, doing things for the greater population and for everyone, because, you know, the world is crazy at the moment, so, you know, that's where the focus should be. But, you know, that's just what I think, and that's what I'm trying to portray with my stuff. So
Love it.
100%.
Love it. Keen to see the future stuff that may or may not happen.
Who
knows?
knows?
Who knows?
No, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's going to be a great journey. And, you know, the more songs we keep pushing out, I hope, you know, the more people can be impacted. So.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
That's all that'll happen, I think. It's just an upward trend.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly. I appreciate the voice.
for sure.
I really do.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
One of the last things we'd love to talk about is obviously you've been to LA.
Yep.
You've been to LA a few times, I feel. Or, I don't know, LA, US, just America in general.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things, like the differences, the cultural differences and whatnot over there compared to Australia that you've noticed? I've seen some of we've both seen some of your like skits that you've made about like the car.
Yeah,
that was actually really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I made that and then I watched it back and there was something missing and I was like, what is going on here? And I realized it was like 1.5 minutes long. And I was like, nah, this is too slow. I need to speed it up. So I sped it up. And then I realized, oh yeah, this makes more sense now. Because, you know, people often get into the car and they'll either realize straight away they're on the wrong side or they'll like sit there forever and like be on their phone and they'll get ready to drive. And they'll be like, oh, hold on a sec, this doesn't feel right. Yeah. So that was like probably one of the biggest things at first that we noticed. Like the driving there is insane. Like in America they have this thing called the carpool lane, so you can only have 2 or more people in the car at once. And so on the freeways that's pretty cool because in heavy traffic a lot of people commuting are like just themselves in the car, like no one else. And so, you know, me and mum just driving along, you know, and whoever else is like just so cool. Like we can just skip all the traffic and then sometimes they'll have their own little like freeway to themselves. They'll like split off from everyone else. They'll take a shortcut over here. You'll go over the hill. Nah, they're gonna go through the hill. I don't, you know, like whatever. They're just invisible, like straight. Whatever. Like sometimes, like my mind gets blown. And they say this funny thing over there. I don't know if it's the thing that happens only down south. They say this funny thing over there. I don't know if it's something that happens just down south, but they say if you're not gonna take the freeway, you're going to ride surface. So, hey mom, I'm going to go ride surface this morning, which is like not ride it, like, hey, we're going to go surface to get lunch. Which means we're not going to take any freeways, which to me is a little interesting considering that the freeways are on top of the city. So the surface is more the freeways, not the actual streets. But you know what I mean. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing. You know, we don't really have that. We have one freeway that runs through Brisbane. That's
pretty much.
I feel like they're. I mean, obviously we're not as big, so it's like we're not going to have the stuff that they have. But I feel like they're driving even some of the like just laws they have around driving. I feel like are a bit better, and they're more like lenient. And I feel like. I don't know. I feel like it's better, not just because you can speed, but like
no, be careful what you say. No, you're cool. I mean they call roundabouts traffic circles, which is cool. They don't actually have many roundabouts at all because a lot of it's grids. So they have stop signs where this is the thing that I literally have made this mistake so many times. They have a lot of grid intersections, and so when you get to that grid, everyone has a stop sign, and then. You're thinking you'll get there and you'll be like, okay, who's gonna go first? It's like it's another one of those hill ones, right? And so you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, how do I know who got here first and like if I should go? You basically have to time it. Like you have to look as you get there who got there first. And then they go first.
It's just like a roundabout but harder. Or like a roundabout but you have to choose.
And then sometimes there's a one in Beverly Hills, it's like a 5-way stop sign, and that was like I was looking and I kept like inching out further and further until people noticed me and I was like, I'm going, please don't hit me. Like it's just one of those things that the more time you spend there you get used to. But at first that was like
that's crazy. So you were like driving yourself?
I was able to drive there, have that experience a little bit, which was crazy.
I just wouldn't even trust myself. Like I've been there a couple of times. Dad just does all the driving.
So watching him drive, it's hard to watch.
Or like when you come to a stoplight and you're turning like left or right, and right you have to go in. Go in.
Oh, instead of going all the way around. That one's difficult too. And you can turn on a red. Turn right.
Yes.
Which I think
that's a good rule, right?
I like that rule. Anyone listening, if you are
Australian Parliament,
whoever's on there. I mean, here we have a lot of slip lanes.
Yeah.
You'll notice we have a lot of slip lanes with like the crossing giveaway stuff. Yeah. So we have it sorted, but I think it's it's a good rule. It keeps the traffic flowing. Yeah. Which is good.
That's what I mean. I feel like some of the driving rules are solid.
Yeah.
Are there any other cultural differences? But gosh, I can't say differences besides driving.
I mean, just being there in general, people say everything's bigger and No, I mean, just being there, there's always the funny saying, everything's bigger in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. But, it literally is. Like, the portions of everything is, like, food. Insane. Yeah. And it's just one of those things that you just can't stop yourself. Like, it's just amazing.
The food is good.
Yeah, and the options and, LA itself is such a big city that it takes... Well, they call it LA County. So they have counties. We don't really have counties here. We only have suburbs and then the city. But to drive from like one end of LA to the next can take like 2.5 hours in traffic. Like a long time. Like here, I can get from north side to south in like half an hour. Yeah. Like not even, Yeah. So just the sheer mass of it is insane.
That does put it into perspective for sure.
Yeah. And they have sorry.
No, you're right. You go.
They have the beaches there too.
Oh yeah.
Like I honestly thought Australia undefeated in beaches.
Really?
Could not get better than Australia.
No, you're not about.
And then
No. You can't.
No, I'm not saying they're better. I'm just saying.
Okay. We need to have something.
Okay.
I'm just saying I went over there and I don't know what it was, man. It was such good vibes.
Was that? What's that beach called?
Santa Monica, Venice Beach. Everyone's roller skating there.
Yeah,
I love it. It's like it's such a vibrant, kind of atmosphere.
I know what you're saying.
And it was just something that we don't really have here. And so I loved that feeling. Yeah. And the beaches there, the sand goes to like 150 meters, and the waves aren't anything big or anything, but the sun, because it doesn't really set till like 7:30. So people stay at the beach all afternoon. Whereas here, because we're on the other coast, it's a little different. You can't really stay at the beach past like 1 p.m. Yeah. So the beach, I'm not switching over, but I'm not switching over. Never switching. But I will say that was really cool.
Yeah. Sure. I do love walking on the path, and like you're just walking, and there'll be the beach, and then like a little grass area, or just like the whole beach. Yeah. And there's just so many different people there. Or like you'll have like the muscle beach where it's just the gym and all the gym junkies are hanging out.
It's got just such a vibrance to it compared to like Gold Coast, but
Gold Coast is like one set of people.
It's just
it's awesome. It's beautiful. It's vibrant in its own way. But it's cool over there. Just so many.
But seeing like so many different groups and the diversity in LA is like a really beautiful thing, because you get to see everyone lifting the weights, people doing yoga, calisthenics, people running, cycling, unicycling, I don't know.
Yeah, literally.
Crazy. And like these are all like very normal things, and it's just very visually appealing, and it's just such a warming atmosphere to be in. Yeah, for sure. Which is always helpful. Another big difference I noticed was when you call an ambulance, right? So here, when you call an ambulance, right, usually it can take a while, sometimes depending on the traffic or how many people need help. And when the ambulance rocks up to your door, they come in. There's 2 paramedics. They're there. Hey, how you going? What's the situation? Not in America.
Not in America.
No, not in America. We had a lady fell down the stairs at the house we were staying at, and I had to call 911. And they're asking all the information real quick, getting it all good. 3 minutes later, after hanging up the call, I hear sirens coming down the street. Not 1, not 2, 3. A fire engine rocked up, an ambulance rocked up, and this other, like those trucks with like winches on the back to like tow a car or something. Yeah. That rocked up. I don't know why, but that rocked up. 2 seconds later, we got 10 huge firefighter dudes, paramedics walking through the front doors, going to help this lady, everything. I just thought, wow, like what is going on?
For just a falling down.
Yeah, right? And nothing super critical. And I looked at that and I said, well, this is service, it was
like, at least, you're getting the service no matter what you do.
No, it was crazy. And just, seeing that, like, was insane.
Yeah.
I just wasn't expecting it.
What they all do when they got there? Just got there.
They quite literally prepared for the worst case scenario.
Right? which I appreciate.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just such a it was really full on.
Yeah.
Good experience to have, but yeah, it was just like they just kept coming through the door one after the other. I said, all right, we're having a reunion here. Like, what's going on?
Whole team's gone.
The whole squad's come in. Is it lunchtime? Like, it was crazy. It was it was just one of those things that is just insane.
Yeah. Another one. We had one, because we went to Rolling Loud, like music festival.
Yeah,
that was a whole cultural shift, like just the things people were doing in there, and like oh yeah, I mean we won't go into it. No. It really is
crazy.
Very different.
It's different. It's different,
especially when the rap scene, even like I think we mentioned it in the podcast when we got back, but like rap over here. Or I'll say rap over there is so different to here, because over there it's like real, and like what the rappers are talking about, like the drugs, the killing, or whatever it may be, everything. Even if it's not that. Yeah. Over there it's like it hits them differently. It's like they believe it, and because they see it, I don't know. Crazy. Over here we're just like hearing it and it's good music. Over there it's like this is real. This is our life.
Right. I'd always say I feel like Australians in general are a little more laid back than maybe Americans are. Yeah. And I feel like that is also like a huge thing, because everyone there is really lovely and direct to you, and it's the same here. But the different ways that people say so many things
for sure
is crazy. Like going over and saying, yelling out to mum on the beach, or yelling out to someone, hey, have you got my thongs? Seeing the heads turn to you is like, sorry, I'm in America. Let me rewind a little bit and I'll come back in.
The flip-flops.
The flip-flops. It's funny things like that where, you tell yourself before you're leaving to go there, okay, this is what I gotta do so people don't think I'm a weirdo. And then you get there and you just forget about it. Yeah. Because you're so used to, everything you've been brought up with. Yeah. They
love Aussies anyway.
Oh, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's very cool. They're very welcoming, which is really nice. And I always get mistaken for being British though sometimes.
Oh, really?
Which is funny. And funnily enough, I always slip into the accent. Like 3 days there, in America, give me 3 days, and I slip into it. So whenever I'm filming something, I watch it back and I think, you've done it again. You've done it again. You started speaking like you're American, bro. Like, no, stop. So I have to rewind. Yeah. And it's funny, like talking to a lot of Australians, like sometimes people don't like hearing the American accent. And then I say, what was the recent movie you just watched? Oh, Barbie. Oh, so what do you think about the American accent in the movie? People like when you're watching a movie, you don't really think about an accent that much. Yeah. But for some reason, when we speak, it's a big thing, which I've always thought is interesting.
That's so true.
But just always slipping into it is crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so funny. Like I'll be on a phone call with someone, and Mum will like give me that stare. She'll be like, "You're doing it again, bro." I don't think she minds. Damn. Or someone will look at me and be like, did this guy just switch up on me right now? Like, what's going on?
Is he even Australian?
Yeah, right? Yeah, and then 10 seconds later, he's like gone back to Australia. It's just one of those things. Yeah, I want to keep my accent.
Yeah, don't ditch it. Stay strong.
You can't.
Be a true Aussie,
Yeah. Last question I have.
Yeah.
Are there any other countries you want to go to?
Yeah.
I feel like
I love Europe. I've never been. I've always wanted to go. Yeah. Especially to London. Yeah. I have some heritage in Scotland, so I want to definitely go to the UK, for sure. Which is really exciting. Yeah. I could do my Glaswegian accent a wee bit.
Oh.
Hi. Hi, Jimmy.
Millsy.
Millsy. You want to whip up the accent, wee fella?
Am I whipping up the accent?
Is he whipping it up?
I don't know.
Oh, that wasn't good.
I haven't really heard him do that one before.
That's actually very accurate though. I will give you that.
Whenever I go to my grandparents' house on the Gold Coast,
that's actually good.
I'll tell you, every time I walk through that door, I say, "Granny, hello," and I start speaking like this, and I can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
I get sick of it. I get sick of it. No.
That is too good.
That's actually brilliant. That is
brilliant. No. I love accents. Like it's kind of something I do all the time. Yeah, sometimes I'll trick people in America. I'll be like, how you doing, wee lass? You're right. Yeah. No. I forgot the question you asked me now.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Where do I want to go? It's Europe is like the huge continent that I really want to go, because like I feel like there's a lot of history there that I want to explore, because you learn about so much history in school, and you know, as you explore throughout the world and you think, wow, imagine if I could go to that place for real. Like imagine if I could go to the pyramids of Giza. Like Giza? Yeah,
that's
pyramids
right.
of Giza.
I think so. Yeah.
We're talking about the UK. I'm thinking, am I calling the pyramids of Giza right now? So, you know, I've always wanted to, you know, see those huge landmarks, and I've always wanted to perform in London. Hopefully one day, you know, being on West End or something,
I'm saying that.
could be
not
an amazing
hopefully.
goal.
It will.
Yeah, when? Not if.
I mean, that's what I said when I first went on stage in The Sound of Music, you know, here at QPAC. I said, wow, like this is amazing. And then as I kind of researched more, I was like, oh, it gets even crazier than this, you know? And so I was like, wow, that could be something that I could do maybe later in life, which is really exciting. But yeah, I think the UK is the next stop. I've been here and I've been in the US, and that's kind of, I think, where I want to go next and do some shows there and have a good time.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Hey, we'll see you there, because we're flying on them. We want to see you.
We'll be right there with you.
Yeah. All right, let's get
ones. Yeah.
Sounds good. Well,
but it's really exciting.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll do it, hey?
I think that covers pretty much all of it.
Thank you so much for coming on the Maatecast. We absolutely
appreciate it.
We appreciate it so much.
No, thank you.
Came and talked to us.
Yeah.
Guys who are listening or watching, you'll never change.
Yeah.
28th. It'll be 1 week from this release. Get on it.
Yeah.
Make sure you're there for it. What more can we say? Luke, thank you once again. It's been brilliant. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, boys. I appreciate it above everything else that's happened in my day today.
Wow.
And I can't say that. No. No, wait, hold on a second. You're much more important than that. No, I appreciate you guys so much. I really do. You Never Change comes out next Friday. Really exciting, and I can't wait for you all to hear it. And I'd love to, know what you all think. I'm so excited. Don't forget to pre-save it and stream it on all your services. Spotify,
It's on
the
everything.
drill. It's on everything. All my Apple Music people.
He's on top of it. He knows.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
No, it's an exciting week ahead.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait for everyone to hear the debut.
We're excited.
We're excited to hear
Thank
it.
you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thanks for listening.
Thank you guys.
All of you. Love yous all. Appreciate yous. We'll catch you in the next one.